I'm going to try to make this as uplifting as possible. The bottom line is, and the truth is, that there's ugliness in slaughterhouses, in live auctions. These animals suffer before going to their final moments. I'm going to make a brief speech about the lamb that I rescued with Uncle Eddie Sullivan and Brando Lee. And we tried everything we can. We brought him to a sanctuary, and unfortunately he didn't make it. 2 nights later, he passed away. But everything was done humanly possible to save him. So, from the moment I saw your adorable face, I fell in love with you and knew we had to liberate you. It was confirmed that you had just been born, your mother already sold as a dairy slave. Motherless, you were left in a world of confusion, afraid, begging for mercy. You never felt the comfort of your mom, never fed, never even vocal. But we heard your voice. I picked you up oh so gently in my arms, ran and swore to protect you, and named you Freedom. Uncle Eddie, Brando, and myself drove to Chenoa Animal Sanctuary, and Freedom was treated by the amazing vegan veterinarian, Dr. Rob Teti. I held Freedom close to my arms, his tiny heart beating next to mine, his deep blue eyes staring back at me oh so lovingly. He finally stopped shaking. Freedom barely knew how to suckle, but still drank 4 ounces, and we let him smell the grass and nibble on leaves for the first time. We did everything possible to save Freedom, but sadly he didn't make it. He passed away 2 days later in his sleep next to Dr. Teti, who did everything medically and humanely possible to save him. We love you and we miss you, sweet angel. In our hearts you will remain forever. Freedom is one of the large percentage of male calves born to the dairy cows. Sent to auction hours after birth, they are slaughtered with their umbilical cord still attached, humiliated, treated as simple commodity, barely able to stand. These babies lay in the middle of an auction ring, weak, shaking, trembling as people bid on their flesh. If not sold, they are left to suffer in the pens or piles of death. That's where we found many of our animals. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. I often ask myself, how can farmers say we love our animals, yet submit them to such sadistic cruelty? A week ago, 2 calves and a sheep were down, and I immediately contacted Jimmy Howard and other local rescuers and organized their transport to a hospital admittance in advance. Then driven 25 minutes away to New Bolton Center, co-organized by Dr. Teti, who also practices and resides in Pennsylvania. Rocky's sick and frail body was too weak to survive and sadly passed moments after arrival at the hospital. But we tried. Again, everything was done humanly possible to save a life. Rocky was a fighter through and through, and he was shown love and died peacefully. Today we honor both Rocky and Freedom. On a happier note, Jesse and May, the survivors, after receiving the best care over the last 12 days by wonderful vets at New Bolton Center, which I get updates daily from multiple caregivers. Both of them were rescued, saved, and they'll be released today at an animal sanctuary. One of the sheep, one of the survivors, was a sheep named May. She had 2 broken tibias. She's being well cared for, getting plenty of fresh air and physical therapy while in a sling and a splint, and is sure to survive her horrible ordeal. No one knows how she got hurt, but we could only imagine. Both fractures were done at the same level. Sorry. Again, we thank our amazing vegan veterinarian, Dr. Rob Teti, the steward of Chenoa Manor Sanctuary. This is a victory indeed, but there is still much work to be done. If you could save a life, please do. And remember, it's about the animals, it's not about us. We must respect them and their right to live. Be their voice, and always remember, it's our planet, but theirs too. Go vegan! Thank you. And if you could save a life, like I said, go ahead and try it. You'll never know if you can do it, if you have the courage to do it or not. I shake every time I walk into a slaughterhouse or into a live auction. Knees shaking and my heart beats. But saving a life is worth it every single time. Thank you very much.